Discover 10 incredible, heartwarming truths about mushrooms that can transform your sleep tonight. Lisa sank into the worn-out couch, her mind racing. The world outside her tiny home bustled with life, while inside it felt like a heavy curtain tucked away her family from reality. At 36, she was already exhausted, juggling her responsibilities as a single mother to 2 children, Grace and Jake, both of whom needed her now more than ever. With her own father's health declining and the pandemic snatching away her steady job, every day felt like a relentless contest against time. Flashes of worry crept in, unpaid bills pinned against her fridge, and the empty fridge itself echoed her fears of an uncertain future. Sleep had become a distant dream, replaced by the haunting thoughts of how to make ends meet. One afternoon, as she stood outside her local grocery store, frantically checking her budget, Lisa's gaze caught the eccentric figure of her elderly neighbor, Frank. He was a quirky man, sporting a well-worn cap, kneeling on the ground alongside a basket full of mushrooms. It looked odd, but Lisa felt inexplicably drawn. Their brief chat spiraled into a colorful exploration of the enchanting world of fungi. "These beauties can help with your sleep," Frank exclaimed, his blue eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. The passion in his voice painted pictures of beds adorned in soft, warm linens and gentle night breezes rustling through the trees, a dream Lisa longed for. Intrigued, she dived into learning about mushrooms, amazed by their potential for boosting well-being. The thought of transforming not only her life, but also the lives of her children ignited a flame within her. "Mushrooms could be our answer," she whispered to herself. But spreading the word came with struggles. The tight-knit community had their roots firmly planted in distrust of anything untraditional. As she approached her neighbors one by one, eyes filled with hope, she met cold shoulders and stubbornness. "Mushrooms? Not for me," they scoffed, dismissing her ideas as fanciful. However, everything shifted when she learned her family had been invited to a local fundraiser for veterans. Memories of Frank's stories flooded her mind, tales of sacrifice and camaraderie. What if she tied her message of mushrooms into the purpose of this event? The thought of unifying her community while sharing her journey filled her with exhilaration and apprehension. The fundraising night loomed closer, and Lisa cooked dinner, imagining how to weave her struggles and discoveries into words. As she set the table, she could hear her children laughing, the warmth producing a shimmer of hope in her heart. "Maybe I could help others too," she thought, brimming with purpose. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop
a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now, let's continue. With a deep breath, she imagined herself on stage, confronting the familiar faces of her neighbors. The moment before she'd speak felt electric, yet her heart weighed heavier with doubts. Would they hear her? Would they embrace the change she dared to offer? As she stood before the mic, glancing at Frank in the crowd, she knew this wasn't just her story anymore. Would she challenge her community's norms and advocate for mushrooms besides recognizing their beauty? Taking a steadying breath, she opened her mouth, anticipation thick in the air, each moment teetering on the edge of transformation. "Hello, everyone," Lisa began, her voice trembling slightly as she scanned the room. Familiar faces looked back at her, some curious, others skeptical. The community hall was filled with laughter and chatter moments ago, but now it felt like a quiet arena, waiting to see what she had to say. She took another breath, this one deeper, letting the aroma of the evening's potluck settle in. Her heart raced, her mind flickered to the piles of bills and the dark, empty fridge waiting for her at home. "I wanted to talk about something unusual tonight, mushrooms." A few heads turned, eyebrows raised, and she could see some friends exchanging glances. She forged ahead, determined to break the ice. I know it sounds strange, but mushrooms hold incredible potential. They've helped my family and me in ways I couldn't have imagined. She glanced at Jake and Grace, their little faces glowing under the soft lights, full of faith in their mother. Raising her chin, she shared snippets of her journey, the anxiety, the searches on late nights, and her encounters with Frank's insights. A few weeks ago, a conversation with Frank changed everything for me. He told me there's a world of health benefits hidden in these little fungi. Health, sleep, well-being, I never knew how much they could offer. The murmurs began, skeptical reactions bubbling up. "Here we go again," someone muttered, but she didn't let it deter her. With a smile, she decided to share an anecdote that had stuck with her. "When I first tried cooking with mushrooms, I was terrified. I had no idea what I was doing, honestly. But I infused them into a risotto for my kids, hoping for the best. The smiles on their faces as they devoured that meal, it was more than just dinner. It felt like a small victory, an embrace of something new." The room softened, the initial tension ebbing a bit. "Mushrooms might not solve all our problems," she continued, "but they opened my eyes to possibilities. They're a symbol of growth, resilience, just like us." Lisa felt the spark igniting. What if we tried to connect with nature, with each other more? This isn't just about mushrooms, it's about community. Her voice rose with excitement. "The world has been heavy lately, but a small change in perspective can bring warmth, even at night when we feel alone. I know life is tough, but together we can discover new solutions." As the words flowed, Lisa saw glimmers of recognition in her neighbor's eyes. Maybe they were starting to hear her, really hear her. She felt a newfound strength pulsing within her, a collective heartbeat echoing through the crowded hall. Before the applause could unfold, a voice cut in. "So, what does that mean for us? What should we do?" It was old Mrs. Harrison, the local baker, her hands folded skeptically in front of her. Lisa felt her heart race. This was the exact question she needed, an opening to broaden the conversation. What if we held workshops, cooking classes, conversations about integrating mushrooms into our lives, not just as food, but as part of healing? A community garden. Anyone interested? The room buzzed with murmurs now. She could feel it shifting, and anticipation bubbled inside her. This could truly be a turning point, not just for her, but for the entire community. And then a clap emerged, timid at first, from Frank. Gradually, more joined in, the sound rising like a wave. Lisa's chest swelled with hope as she took it in. They were connecting, breaking through their doubts together. But just as she was about to bask in the encouragement, her phone buzzed in her pocket. It was a text from her father's medical team. She hesitated, a chill touching the edges of her warmth. "I need to take this," she whispered, her heart sinking. The budding transformation around her shifted just as the storm cloud of reality loomed overhead. What awaited her on the other end? Would she find comfort or further burdens? The weight of the evening still hung in the balance, and she took a step back, teetering between hope and worry. Lisa stepped away from the crowd, her heart pounding as she fished her phone from her pocket. The hall buzzed faintly behind her, the sound of encouragement mingling with the weight of her worries. She could still see the delight in her children's eyes, the awakening of hope within her neighbors. Yet, with every second that ticked by, the brightness began to dim at the edges of her mind. With a deep breath, she swiped to open the message. "Miss Thompson, this is Dr. Keller. I wanted to reach you regarding your father's tests. Please call us as soon as you can." The words were simple, but felt like a bucket of ice water poured over her. A tightness welled in her chest. Her father had been battling health issues for months now, and she had tried to remain positive, often finding solace in the little victories, just like she had shared about the mushrooms. But uncertainty wrapped a cold finger around her thoughts. "Mom?" Small voice broke through her haze. He stood near the hall entrance, worry painting his features. She turned to him, blinking away the fog. "Just a minute, sweetheart. I need to take care of something." Jake's brow furrowed, but he nodded, stepping back, still watching her with innocent concern. Pressing her back against the wall, she fought the urge to spiral into panic, reminding herself that she had been pushing through tougher storms. It was just a call, yet each ring felt longer than the last. Finally, the call connected. Dr. Keller's voice filled the space, clear and steady, but the gravity of his words made her stomach twist. "Lisa, I wish I had better news regarding your father. The latest tests reveal some complications. We need to discuss treatment options. Are you available to come in tomorrow? It's important." Her breath caught as the doctor's words settled like stones in her heart. Treatment options? They sounded so final, so heavy. She thought about her father's laughter, his love for cooking, the way he had taught her to appreciate even the smallest of meals, like mushrooms in a risotto. "Yes, of course," she managed to say, her voice trembling yet steady. "I'll be there." After ending the call, Lisa couldn't move, staring blankly at the wall, the laughter from the hall fading into silence. Moments passed, or was it just a few seconds? With the weight of the world on her shoulders, she turned back towards the gathering, towards the warmth, the hope she had ignited. But now, shadows loomed in the corners of her vision. How could she lead when she felt so lost? "Mom," Grace's soft voice cut through the darkness. She was running toward her, arms open wide. The little girl leaped into her embrace, tiny hands gripping Lisa's waist like a lifeline. "Are you okay? You were gone a long time." Lisa held on tightly, breathing in the comforting smell of her daughter's hair, despite the knot lodged in her throat. "I'm okay, sweetheart. Just taking a moment." As she stepped back, Lisa looked into Grace's bright eyes. There was strength in innocence, and it ignited a flicker within her. How could she allow her fears to overshadow the hope she was trying to share with this community? Perhaps everything wasn't lost. Realizing she needed to return, Lisa straightened and plastered on a smile. She could still contribute, still create a gathering space for healing. Maybe mushrooms could help in more ways than one. She took her children's hands and led them back into the hall. The warmth welcomed her like a familiar embrace. The townsfolk were still there, faces mingling with curiosity and concern, willing to move forward. "Everyone," she called out, her voice clear and bright, shaking off the tendrils of doubt. "I just spoke with my father's doctor, and it seems I have more to share about resilience, our next steps, and the importance of community." The crowd shifted, some leaning forward with intent. "But what if we make this gathering special, not only for us, but to honor those we care about?" she proposed. "A community garden for healing, filled with mushrooms and love. A place to share meals, stories, and every moment we have." A ripple of enthusiasm surged through the crowd, nudging her fears aside, if only for a moment. As they started discussing plans, a feeling of connection settled around her. Hope was fragile, but blossoming once again. That flicker might even grow into a flame. The night rolled on, but just as she thought she had a handle on her emotions, her phone buzzed again. This time, the contact name sent another chill through her. The medical team. Heart racing, she glanced at her children, their bright faces seeming to defy the weight of her worry. Perhaps she would finally understand how to transform this shadow into light. What could they possibly want now? The air in the hall felt charged, heavy with anticipation. Lisa looked down at her phone, words blinking back at her, waiting to be discovered. She swallowed hard, dread thickening in her throat. The joyful buzz of her community seemed to dim, competing against the swirling storm of anxiety brewing inside her mind. "Mom?" Grace's fingers tugged at her sleeve, pulling Lisa back into the moment. The innocence in her daughter's gaze sparked a desire to protect that light. "Is everything okay?" "Yeah, just a little unexpected news." Lisa forced a smile, wrapping her arm around Grace. The girl leaned against her, giving Lisa a sense of grounding. "Let's focus on the garden for now."
As her words hung in the air, people gathered, creating a circle of warmth around her. One voice piped up, "What kind of plants should we grow?" "Mushrooms!" exclaimed Jake, his eyes alight with enthusiasm. "We talked about how cool they are. They can heal people." "Exactly!" A quiet cheer rippled through the crowd. The connection between their worries and the garden idea blossomed, much like the mushrooms they would plant. Each smile felt like a small dose of healing. Someone else chimed in, "What if we dedicate each section to the folks we care about, like a tribute garden?" "Yes," Lisa exclaimed, her voice rising with renewed passion. "We can celebrate stories, journeys, and resilience. Everyone can bring a seed or a cutting to plant in honor of their loved ones." Excitement danced along the edges of her fear. This was it. This was the connection she longed for. In that lively discussion, Lisa didn't notice the phone buzzing again until the third time vibrated against her palm. Heart pounding, she gave in and stepped aside, a mix of dread and urgency pushing her forward. The name Keller glared at her. She took a shaky breath and answered. "Lisa? I'm glad I caught you." Dr. Keller's voice was calm but carried an undercurrent of urgency. "I wanted to discuss the results further. Could you come in this evening? It's important." An icy grip tightened around her heart.
This evening? Yes, it involves the next steps, and I believe your presence would be critical. "Okay," she said, the word barely escaping. "I'll be there." As the call ended, the weight of the news settled on her shoulders like a heavy fog. She glanced back towards the crowd. They were laughing and brainstorming, works of art taking shape in the air around them. But she felt detached, as if watching from behind a glass. "Mom?" Jake stood next to her once again, sensing her distress. "You okay?" Lisa began, then faltered. How could she explain the brewing storm? "I'm just sorting some things out." "Can we still plant mushrooms?" Grace chimed in, hope in her voice. Her innocence was like a bandage on Lisa's soul. "Yes, absolutely, that's the plan." She knelt down, squeezing her children's hands. "Listen, something might come up tonight, and I need you both to be brave, okay? If I seem a little distracted, just remember how special this garden is." They nodded, unaware of the truth behind her words. As her heart soared with the spirit of the community, it sank with the weight of uncertainty about her father. Their excitement pulled her back in, filling her with the first glow of determination. Just then, someone shouted, "Let's pick a name for the garden!" Excitement rolled through the group, muffling Lisa's worries. Yet, in the back of her mind, the doctor's urgency simmered, threatening to erupt again. Suddenly, a thought struck her. What if we named it after something beautiful, like a tribute to all the stories we carry? "How about the Garden of Resilience?" a voice suggested, sparking a wave of agreement. That idea ignited a fierce resilience within Lisa. The night was far from over, and despite the shadows creeping into her thoughts, she would carry the community's light with her. But could she face the truth waiting for her later? With each passing minute, doubt and hope battled inside her, and the conversation around her began to blur. Maybe it was the community garden she needed, or perhaps it was something more personal she was about to uncover. As Lisa stared into the distance, she felt the persistent pull of both fear and hope. She just didn't know which one would guide her path next. The sun dipped low in the sky, casting golden hues across the gathering. Laughter continued to ring out, each sound a melody of joy washing over Lisa. Yet the calm atmosphere felt like a mask, hiding the storm of uncertainty beneath. She watched her children weave through the crowd, their carefree spirit both a blessing and a painful reminder of the weight she carried. "Lisa, look at this!" A voice broke through her reverie. It was Marissa, a friend from the neighborhood, holding up a green sprout. "We found this wildflower by the river. Isn't it beautiful?" Lisa forced a smile, feeling the warmth of friendship, but also the chill creeping back in. "We can plant it in the tribute garden. It'll need love to thrive," she managed.
Just like us, Marissa added, a knowing glance passing between them. As the sun kissed the horizon, dusk wrapped around them, softening the edges of her worries, at least for a moment. But her phone buzzed again. She could feel the pulse of anxiety quicken with each vibration. It was almost mocking her. "Mom?" Grace's voice broke through her fog. "Can we plant the mushrooms now?" "Sure," Lisa replied, her heart aching to keep the moment alive. She guided them to the growing patch, the mix of dirt and hope underfoot grounding her. The kids planted their mushrooms, tiny acts of faith in the earth, each one representing a story they would share later. Yet, as she dug into the soil, she felt her own story pressing against her ribcage. Could she share it? Could she be honest about her fears? "Why do mushrooms help?" Jake asked, his brow furrowed, mirroring the concern in her mind. "Oh, they help in many ways," Lisa replied, finding solace in the simplicity of the question. "Some heal and some nourish. They're like friends who show up when you need them." He nodded, his eyes round with curiosity. "Just like us, right?" Grace chimed in, a bright smile breaking the evening's shadows. "Exactly," Lisa affirmed, more for herself than for them. They were all interconnected, holding each other up through chaos and silence. But then, like a sudden gust of wind, doubt swept through her. What would she do when that connection was tested? The community around her buzzed with energy, but her mind drifted back to Dr. Keller's call. As the evening continued, laughter filled the air. Yet the doctor's voice haunted her. "Your presence would be critical." Tears threatened to spill as she thought of the conversation ahead. She had to face this alone, didn't she? The weight of tending to her children, her father, and her own heart felt impossible. "Mom, we need you," Jake said, tugging on her sleeve again, eyes wide in a mix of concern and determination. "Can you please focus on our garden now?" Choking back emotion, Lisa forced a grin. "You're right, I'm here." Sinking down beside them, she plucked a handful of soil, letting it run between her fingers, an anchor against the turbulence. "Let's make a wish for each mushroom," she suggested. "What do you think we should wish for?" Grace and Jake put their heads together, each whispering their wishes into the air. Lisa closed her eyes, letting hopes soar beyond her silent fears, mixing into the night with the stars and softly glowing lanterns strung above. As the last rays slipped away, Lisa felt the pull of the future tugging at her. Fighting against the oncoming storm, she thought of the call she had to face. Would it bring clarity or more confusion? "All right, let's finish planting," she finally said, her voice steady with determination. Just as they
worked under the deepening sky, shadows loomed behind her, whispering secrets she wasn't ready to unveil. Tomorrow might offer the truth, but tonight she would immerse herself in resilience and community. Yet, as she smoothed dirt over the last root, a chill ran down her spine. What if those secrets changed everything? The night was filled with hope and fear, right on the brink. What awaited her at Dr. Keller's office? Would she find the strength she so desperately sought? The moon hung low, bathing the garden in a silver glow as Lisa wrapped up their little planting ceremony. The chatter of the party faded into the background, replaced by the rustling leaves, almost as if nature itself was holding its breath. Each mushroom nestled into the earth felt like a small promise made, a grain of hope tucked away under the soil. Jake's little fingers smeared with dirt reminded her of simpler times. She was swept back to memories of him as a baby, tiny fists balled up, gripping onto life with such fierce determination. How had they gotten here? How had life brought them to the edge of uncertainty, teetering on the brink of something she could barely comprehend? There was comfort in the familiarity of the garden, and yet that same familiarity was where her fears thrived. "Can I choose a name for the wildflower?" Grace asked, breaking her reverie. "I want to call it Brave Soul. It's our garden, right?" Lisa chuckled, wrapping an arm around her. "I love that. Brave Soul it is." There was a weight lifting a bit as laughter erupted from Grace. It felt good, liberating. But the rush faded quickly, replaced by the aching truth yet again. The call from Dr. Keller was looming. As the kids buzzed with excitement, collecting fallen leaves to decorate around their newly planted mushrooms, Lisa's heart sank a little deeper. The vibrant colors of the garden were a stark contrast to her impending appointment. She glanced at her phone, mind racing back to that sterile office, white walls, and the clinical scent that was all too familiar. There was no turning back, was there? Tomorrow would come whether she was ready or not. Marissa's laughter drifted toward her, teasing her senses back to the here and now. She watched as Marissa convinced a group of kids to play tag near the edge of the garden. It was intoxicating, this swirl of community, yet it felt like a facade. Could anyone feel what she felt? Would sharing her burdens only bring them down? "Mom," Grace called out, her own little wildflower now in a patch of soil, a proud smile lighting up her face. "Can we go see the other gardens?" "Of course," Lisa replied, feigning enthusiasm as she stood up to join them. It was only a few feet away, but each step felt heavier as anticipation swirled in her gut. As they joined the children already racing ahead, Lisa's mind wandered again, uninvited thoughts breaking through. Her father was slipping, the memories fading like whispers in the wind. She brushed a tear away before it could escape. This garden was meant to tether them, but underneath the bright colors, her heart felt like it was fraying. "Mom, look!" Jake called, pointing at a butterfly fluttering by, its wings like stained glass against the night sky. "It's so beautiful." "It is," Lisa replied, her smile genuine this time. Nature had a way of healing, even if it was just for a moment. She took a deep breath, savoring the evening air. But just as she began to let her worries bleed away, her phone vibrated once more, startling her. Eggshells of courage thickened around her heart as she gazed at the screen. Dr. Keller was calling again, not just a reminder, but a summons. She steadied herself. "Kids, stay safe. I'll be right back." She walked a few steps away, her breath shaky, all the bravado from moments before fading. With clammy hands, she answered the phone. Well, this is it, she thought, her heart racing at the unknown course ahead. What news awaited me this time? With her mind spinning, the night cradled her fears tightly. But would it unearth something unexpected? As she spoke, Lisa felt her whole world shift. What if tomorrow's appointment revealed answers that could fracture her carefully built world? The truth was on the horizon, and Lisa was left wondering, was she ready to confront it? The voice on the other end was calm yet serious, almost too measured for Lisa's racing heartbeat. "Hello, Lisa. I wanted to go over the results from your last test. Are you in a place to talk?" She swallowed hard, each word like a stone dropping into a lake of anxiety. "Yes, I'm here." She stepped further away from the playful shouts of the children, finding a small nook between the garden wall and a bush. The moonlight filtered through the leaves, casting trellis patterns on the ground. "Okay," Dr. Keller continued, "I don't want you to worry unnecessarily, but there are some things we need to address. The results showed some irregularities that we can't ignore." Irregularities? The word echoed in her mind, darkening the garden's colors. She felt like the air had been sucked out of the night. What does that mean? The question came out almost like a whisper, laced with fear. "It means we need to do further tests to understand what's happening in your body. I highly recommend you come in as soon as possible," he said, his voice resolute. She felt the world tilt, as though the earth beneath her feet were shifting. What if, she hesitated, fear tearing at her gut, what if it's bad news? "We can't determine anything until we have more information. Please try to keep that in mind." The doctor's voice softened. "I know this is difficult, but we're going to figure this out together." Together. That word, so simple, held weight and warmth. But in That moment, it felt distant, like a light flickering just out of reach. "Okay," she finally managed, feeling the facade crumbling. "I'll come in tomorrow." "Good, you're making the right choice. I'll have my nurse call and set up a time." The conversation faded, but the heaviness remained. As Lisa hung up, the laughter from the kids felt achingly far away, almost like a different world. Taking a shaky breath, she leaned against the cool garden wall. Her mind raced, memories of smiles and laughter haunting her thoughts. What if she couldn't share those moments with her children for long? What if she couldn't be there to watch Grace grow, to teach Jake how to ride a bike? Jake's voice brought her back. "Mom, hurry! We found the biggest garden!" The thrill in his voice resonated like a melody breaking through her despair. Slipping back out of her bubble of fear, Lisa plastered a smile on her face as she walked toward the kids. They were gathered around a sprawling patch of wildflowers, each bloom bursting with life. "Look, isn't it amazing?" Grace's eyes sparkled. "Can we plant more flowers here too?" "Of course," Lisa replied, her heart swelling at their energy. They had no idea of the storm brewing in her heart, yet somehow their laughter knitted that storm into something softer, more manageable. But as she watched the kids dart around, she felt the weight of the unknown pressing heavily against her chest. She had to be strong, not just for them, but for herself too. "Mom, look!" Jake exclaimed, folding down to inspect a particularly vibrant bloom. "This one is so pretty." "It really is." Lisa knelt beside him, joy mingling with her worry. "You know, flowers like this are resilient. They bloom even in tough places." His little brow furrowed in contemplation. "Like us?" "Yeah, like us," she affirmed, warmth flooding her veins. But beneath her words lay an unease she desperately tried to shake. Could they weather this storm together? Would their resilience be strong enough? As the night deepened, shadows danced among them, and the garden became a sanctuary of fragility, harboring whispers of hope and fear in equal measure. Just as she was about to join the children, a flicker of movement caught her eye, a figure standing on the edge of the garden, watching. "Who's that?" she thought, a mix of dread and curiosity swelling within. The face was unfamiliar, but something about it tugged at her memory. Was this person connected to the answers she was desperately seeking? And as she took a tentative step forward, Lisa's heart raced anew, unsure if the approach would lead her to hope or unravel everything she thought she knew. Lisa's stomach tightened as she moved closer to the figure, trying to catch a glimpse of their face. The moonlight illuminated a silhouette, tall, with an air of familiarity that both comforted and unsettled her. Her heart raced, thumping hard against her chest as she wondered how. This person had slipped into her garden, watching her and her children play. "Excuse me?" she called, her voice breaking the stillness of the night. The figure turned, and Lisa felt a shiver run down her spine when she recognized the face. It was Rachel, an old friend from college, someone she hadn't seen for more than a decade. "Lisa!" Rachel's voice rang out with genuine warmth, a spark of connection igniting between them. "I hope it's okay that I came by. I saw you from the street and couldn't resist saying hello." The relief and confusion battled within Lisa. It was surreal to see Rachel here, at this moment, with everything swirled around her. "Of course, I just wasn't expecting anyone." Rachel stepped closer, her eyes taking in the garden, the children, the wildflowers. "It's beautiful here. Are those your kids?" "Yes." Lisa turned to Grace and Jake, who were obliviously lost in their own world of laughter. "That's Grace and Jake. They're adorable. I knew you'd be a great mom." Rachel smiled, but Lisa noticed a flash of concern in her expression. "How have you been?" It was a simple question, but Lisa felt the weight of the answer pressing heavily on her. She hesitated, then decided to be honest. "I just got some news. I need to have more tests done. They found some irregularities in my last health check." "Oh, I'm so sorry." Rachel's voice softened, her concern palpable. "That must be terrifying." "It is," Lisa admitted. "I'm just trying to stay strong for the kids. They have no idea." Rachel stepped closer, her hand reaching out, gently touching Lisa's arm. "You're not alone, you know. I'm here. Whatever you need, just say the word. Remember those late-night talks we used to have when everything felt overwhelming?" Tears prickled at the corners of Lisa's eyes. "I remember. I thought time had swept those days away. It's hard to feel connected sometimes when everything feels so uncertain." Rachel took a step back, her expression intent. "You have a lot of people who care about you, Lisa. You just have to let them in. You don't have to hold all this alone." The words struck deep within her. Lisa had been trying to carry the weight of the world on her shoulders, thinking that showing fear would somehow hurt her children. But maybe Rachel was right. Maybe sharing that burden could lighten her load, could be a step toward resilience, allowing her to blossom like the flowers in her garden. At that moment, uncertainty was still looming, but something within her shifted. "You're right," she said slowly. "I think I've been so scared that I forgot I don't have to face this alone." Just then, Jake came running over, his face bright with excitement. "Mom, come look at the bugs we found." As she knelt with Jake, showing him the tiny creatures that crawled beneath the wildflowers, Lisa's heart ached a little less. She could feel the warmth of Rachel's presence. The evening, Rachel's presence reminding her that life was still beautiful even amid chaos. Her gaze flickered to Rachel, who stood a little ways back, smiling knowingly. Lisa felt hope begin to take root, knowing she had a friend willing to walk this path with her. But just as she began to relax, her phone buzzed in her pocket. Glancing down, the screen displayed an unknown number. An electric spark of anxiety surged through her. Who could it be? Should she answer? The familiar feeling of fear bubbled back up, mingling with the warmth Rachel brought. What if the call brought more bad news? Or could it possibly be a glimmer of hope, changing everything she feared? As she hesitated, the weight of the unknown hung heavily in the air, and Lisa's heart raced once more. Lisa stared at her phone, a storm of thoughts swirling in her mind. Should she ignore the call, wait until tomorrow, or answer and face whatever news awaited her? Her heart pounded, dreading what could be on the other end. The glow of Rachel's smile flickered softly, grounding her for just a moment. "Are you okay?" Rachel's voice broke through the haze, concern creeping back into her features. Lisa nodded, though unease gnawed her. "It's just a call I wasn't expecting." With a deep breath, she tapped the screen and swiped to answer. "Hello? Miss Anderson?" A voice spoke, crisp and professional. "This is Dr. Harris from the clinic. I wanted to follow up regarding your recent tests." As the words washed over her, Lisa felt every muscle tense. The world around her blurred, the laughter of her children fading as dread set in. She forced herself to listen, but all she could hear was the thumping of her heart, a metronome of anxiety. "We would like you to come in for a consultation. The results from the biopsy came back, and it's important we discuss them in person." "Okay," Lisa managed to utter. She could sense Rachel's worried gaze upon her, tightening the grip of uncertainty that clung to her. After she hung up, silence enveloped them. The garden felt larger somehow, more distant. "What did they say?" Rachel asked gently. "I need to go in," Lisa said, her voice barely above a whisper. "They want to discuss the biopsy results." Rachel stepped closer, her eyes filled with empathy. "I'm here. We'll go together if you want." Lisa stiffened at the thought. "I can't. This is my burden." "No, it isn't," Rachel insisted, softly but firmly. "You're still the same person, Lisa. You don't have to fight this alone. Please, let me support you, just like we used to." The sincerity in Rachel's eyes cracked something open in Lisa. That connection, the friendship she'd let slip away, was a lifeline in this uncertainty. But just then, the sound of laughter burst through her reverie. Grace and Jake were racing toward the house, their hair disheveled and alive with joy. They didn't know. Not yet. Lisa felt a pang in her chest as she watched them play, innocent and carefree. They had no idea of the storm brewing just beneath the surface. Could Could she shield them from this? I don't know how to tell them, she confessed, anguish lining her voice. What if they worry? Rachel stepped beside her, a comforting presence. You'll find the words when you need to. Kids are resilient. They'll rise to whatever's thrown at them, just like you will. Lisa let out a shaky breath. But what if I can't handle it? I don't want to scare them. I want to be strong. You can be both. You can show them love and vulnerability at the same time. Remember, kids learn from how we face challenges. Just then, Jake called out from the doorway, "Mom, come see the biggest bug we found." A moment of warmth wrapped around Lisa, pulling her back from the brink. They were beautiful little creatures, just as wildflowers bloom despite the odds against them. The joy in Jake's voice remained infectious, and she began to feel the flicker of hope again. "Let's go," Lisa said, her voice steadied. Together. As they walked toward the house, Lisa felt the grip of fear loosen, just a bit. She would face what was coming, whatever it was, but she wouldn't do it alone. The truth might be harder than she could imagine, but it would also be the first step into the light again. Yet, as they approached the door, her phone buzzed again, a second call from the clinic. An icy tendril of dread wrapped around her heart. "What now? What is it?" Rachel asked, her eyes narrowing with concern. Lisa stood frozen, the weight of the unknown settling heavily once again. "I don't know if I can answer this. What if it's something I can't bear?" Rachel squeezed her hand, grounding her in the moment. "You can do this. Whatever it is, I'll be right here with you." As Lisa hesitated, the second call ringing in her ear, everything came to a standstill. What awaited her on the other end could change everything yet again. Would it be a further burden or a glimmer of hope? With bated breath, she closed her eyes and tapped the screen, her heart racing, the weight of fear and expectation crashing around her like waves. "Hello?" Lisa's voice trembled as she answered the call, her heart racing like a wild horse. The lightness of the garden seemed a distant memory amidst the worry clawing at her heart. "Miss Anderson, thank you for taking our call again. This is Dr. Harris. I wanted to clarify some details regarding your biopsy results and the next steps." Lisa clenched her fists, every word stiffening the air around her. "Yes, I'm listening," she forced out, her mind a whirlwind of possibilities. "Fortunately, the irregularities we noticed were not as severe as we first suspected. We need you to come in for a follow-up, but want to reassure you that the situation is manageable and we have options." "What do you mean by manageable?" Lisa's breath hitched, fear flickering with cautious hope. "It means we can begin treatment that aligns with your needs and goals, with a positive outlook moving forward. It's not a death sentence, but rather a step toward healing." A rush of relief washed over her, even as her mind grappled with the reality of treatment. "Thank you," she whispered, tears blurring her vision. "Thank you so much." "Take your time, Lisa. We're here to support you through this." As she hung up the phone, a flood of emotions burst forth. She had taken the leap, she had faced the unknown, and found hope hiding beneath the layers. A smile broke through the storm cloud hanging over her heart, warmth filling the void. "Mom?" Grace's voice interrupted her thoughts, the innocence in her tone pulling Lisa back to the present. "Is everything okay? You've been gone a long time." Lisa knelt down and enveloped her children in a deep embrace. "Everything's going to be okay," she whispered, steadying her breath for them. "We're going to be all right. You are my brave souls, and together we can face anything that comes our way." Rachel stepped up beside her, a proud smile illuminating her face. The warmth radiating from their small gathering strengthened Lisa's resolve. The garden, with its growing mushrooms and flowers, felt alive and vibrant with hope, the same kind she was holding on to. "Mom, can we plant more mushrooms?" Jake's voice chimed with eagerness. "There are special helpers, right?" "Absolutely," Lisa replied, looking at Rachel. "Together, we can create a garden filled with love and resilience." A pause escaped her lips, even in her celebratory mood. "And maybe each mushroom can symbolize strength, just like we are."
The trio returned to the patch, planting mushrooms with laughter and joy sparking the atmosphere. Neighbors began to gather again, enchanted by the laughter drifting through the garden. As they joined in, the community feeling brimmed with newfound connection, knitting everyone closer, even in the face of uncertainty. Rachel leaned close to Lisa, a light of understanding in her eyes. "You're doing this beautifully, Lisa. You're teaching your kids strength in the face of adversity. They'll always look to you as their beacon." As their hands sifted through soil, planting each mushroom with intention, Lisa started to feel a shift. The burden of worry wasn't as heavy anymore, wrapped instead in the awareness of love and community. Just like these mushrooms can thrive in any condition, we can grow, no matter the darkness. We'll lean on each other, and together we'll flourish. Cheers erupted as they finished their planting, and even Jake motioned for them to step back. "Look, aren't they the best?" A sense of peace settled within her, stifling the worry. In that moment, Lisa understood. They were rooted together. The laughter of her children mingled with the soft rustle of the trees, the whisper of hope turning into a chorus of resilience and love. As the sun began to set, dipping under the horizon, she realized how precious these moments were, how important it was to embrace life, all of it, the good and the uncertain, side by side with those she treasured most. "I think we're going to be okay," she murmured, glancing at Rachel and the kids, heart swelling with determination. "Just have to remember, tomorrow is a new day." Rachel smiled, and every day is a chance to continue growing. And in this wave of hope, they took steps back from the garden, arms around each other, united in shared purpose. Lisa felt lighter, and with each passing moment, she knew she could face whatever lay ahead. The night was vast, but so was their spirit. With a heart full of gratitude, she embraced the change, leaning into love that flourished through the roots, just like the mushrooms and wildflowers around her. Now is the moment, folks. If you felt the power of this story, you need to subscribe now. Hit that bell and select all notifications. Don't miss out on the journeys we'll take together in the next series. Leave a like right now to feed that algorithm and share your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear how this ending made you feel. This is your chance to make a difference. Share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation in their lives. Don't wait, not even one more second. Only true fans like you understand just how crucial it is to support our channel. Let's grow this community like we did in the garden.